Hi, students. We're going to read our last article about Cleveland, and I think this is a really important article. It's about mental health awareness, being healthy in your brain, not feeling sad or depressed or having a hard time. So this is another article about a Cleveland champion. This Cleveland champion's name is Archie Green, and he made it okay for people to talk about mental health issues. So the article's name is Archie Green made it okay for rappers to talk about mental illness, Cleveland champions. So Archie Green is the person, and he's talking here about mental illness. So that means any problems that you have emotionally, mentally, being sad, things like that. So, and there's a new word in here. Maybe it's a new word for you. Rappers. Rappers are musicians that rhyme and sing while they play music. And generally, it's usually African American males who are rappers. They have a special sound to their music. So he's talking to musicians and other African American men and women about mental health. Okay, so let's look at that. Here's a picture of Archie Green. This story is by Adrian Horton, and that's his name right here. This is the background information. We're going to start here on number 1. Cleveland, Ohio. Archie Green is a rapper and a producer who uses hip hop to destigmatize mental illness in Black and Brown communities. Now, in a lot of groups of people don't like to talk about when they're sad or when they're depressed, or they don't want to go to a doctor about that. So we have a stigma, we have a kind of embarrassment or shame, or we're ashamed to talk about those kind of problems. But this man, Archie Green, he wants to destigmatize it. That means he wants to make it easy for people to talk about their mental health problems or their mental illnesses. So he uses music to help talk about mental health issues in Black and Brown communities. So those are people of color, people whose skin have color, different color than me. Okay, number 2. It is a cause he has championed after facing his own challenges with depression, and a message that Green's mental health awareness initiative, Heal Dem Layers Back, works to spread in Cleveland. So he's been depressed, so he wants to talk about it with other people to help them overcome their depression. And the group he started is called Peel Dem Layers Back. Peel Dem Layers Back. So that is slang. I would say peel them layers back. So we're talking about something like an onion, where you have to peel the different layers back to get to the inside, right? And when we're having mental health issues, we have this hard thing around us, and sometimes we have to open it up to get inside our brains. 4. Green says that before he experienced therapy around 5 years ago, he didn't really know what mental illness was. We didn't really talk about it. So he started going to therapy 5 years ago. 6. A huge reason for that, and one of the main obstacles Green works to dismantle in his music and advocacy, is what he describes as the long-standing misconception that Black men specifically have to be strong and can't be vulnerable, can't cry, can't feel emotion as weakness. That's a lie. And maybe you've seen this on TV or movies where the Black men are really strong and tough and bad, right? And they can't have normal feelings, right? So and Archie Green is saying that's a lie. That's not true. Emotions are good. It's okay to have emotions. It's okay to cry. Number 8. Now 34, he's 34 years old. Green said he experienced bouts of undiagnosed clinical depression growing up in Chagrin Falls, where he was one of the only Black students. As a teen, he channeled loneliness into making music, particularly hip hop, which captured his attention at age 13 after he saw Jay-Z's video for Hard Knock Life. So Jay-Z is a famous hip hop or rapper. So he was the only Black student at his school, so he felt lonely because there weren't other people like him. Number 10, but he didn't start publicly sharing music grappling with depression and vulnerability until years later. After obtaining an economics degree from Morehouse College and a music business graduate degree from New York University, Green moved from the big city back home to his parents' house. A DUI arrest suspended his driver's license for a year, and symptoms of serious depression began to worsen. So a DUI means he was driving a car under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and he got arrested for that. And he got more depressed. At Thanksgiving dinner in 2014, he started having a panic attack. Panic attack is where your heart's beating really fast and you're stressed. Okay. At that point of my life, I was literally counting down the hours to where if I was not alone by myself recharging, I'm going to break down, he recalled. That's when I knew something was wrong. Help from someone who can relate. A concerned friend who was also a licensed psychiatrist finally asked him, "Have you ever considered therapy? Have you ever thought about going to see a doctor?" Even the question was huge, Green said, because it's the first time anyone had ever talked to me about therapy. But secondly, and more importantly, he looked like me. So he was getting advice from another African-American man. 16, crucially or importantly, he found an African-American male therapist, a doctor who was also Black, who could relate to his experience. Especially in the Black community, I always try to tell people, you don't have to act. You don't have to just go to the free clinic and take whatever's available, Green said. You can be specific with who you ask, right? You can ask for a woman doctor. You can ask for a male doctor. You can ask for a Black doctor. You can ask for a white doctor, whatever you need. 18. Green also turned again to music. In April 2016, a story from Vice on rappers opening up about depression featured one of his songs, Layers. With sweeping piano plinks and unvarnished lyrics, such as let's talk facts, my life was very dark. And my doctor said it gets better soon as I peel back them layers. Peel them layers back. The song struck a nerve and went viral with 25,000 streams on SoundCloud within 2 weeks. The response made Green consider his mission differently. So people were interested in hearing this song about depression. I started getting this idea that maybe I should be doing more than music. Maybe I should start telling my story, he said. 19, Peel Dem Layers Back. He founded Peel Dem Layers Back, that's the organization he founded, in 2016 when he was working as an outreach coordinator for the Cleveland's Museum of Modern Art. Since then, the group, Green and usually 1 or 2 volunteers at a time, has hosted quarterly and bi-monthly events, some with licensed mental health professionals on hand for on-the-spot consultations. For the root of it all, a mental health awareness festival he hosted, 6 hip-hop artists, Green included, performed a couple songs each and spoke of their own mental health stories. Artists talked about how they dealt with suicidal thoughts. Artists talked about trauma that they faced as a kid and ramped up anxiety, said Green. Really pouring out. That's not something you typically get from a rap show. So they had a music festival, but they also talked about mental health issues. That's a new thing. 23. Peeled in Layers Back's biggest event to date was a show called My Violin Weighs a Ton, which brought hip-hop culture to historic Severance Hall. The concert was supported by the Cleveland Orchestra's Neighborhood Partners program, of which the Lexington Bell Community Center is a member, and inspired by such genre crossovers as Nats at the Kennedy Center or Jay-Z at Carnegie Hall. So they had a big concert. 25, the orchestra accompanied a group of kids, all of color, who played classical guitar, performed their own rhymes, and sang Old Town Road to the most diverse crowd they've ever seen. We're talking about race, age, gender, sexual orientation, class, Green said. So people in the audience were all different. If there's a unifying strand for Green's work, it's the act of sharing, whether it's music, creativity, vulnerability, or common experience. Through it all, Green has remained open, determined to convince others that it's okay to be broken. It's okay to share when you're not doing well. I've been going to therapy now for almost 5 years, and all I want to do is save other people and be like, you can be healthy too. Please talk about this. So Green's problem that he's trying to help with is being able to talk about mental health issues, being able to find help for mental health issues. So why don't you look through here and find some solutions. Down here at the bottom, we have his name, Archie Green, the organization that he started, and what they do. So this was our last article on Cleveland. I hope that you found all these Cleveland champions very interesting, and I hope that you have lots of good things to write about in your next paragraph. Take care, and I will talk to you soon.